And welcome everyone, thank you very much for tuning in on today's latest episode. I'm joined by a very special guest, my absolute legend, Dave from Dave LFC Chats. Thank you for coming on, mate.
No problem, bro. We'll have a lovely little chat now. Liverpool are flying at the moment, and big game Monday, of course, against Arsenal. Can't wait, and this means more, my friend.
Yeah, get in, mate. Everyone, make sure you do head over to Dave's channel as well. Head over there, subscribe if you're new, if you're not aware of his channel. He's got some fantastic guests. Head over there. The two latest episodes you've done, mate, just give people an insight if you haven't checked out your channel.
I did a video on Monday with the Athletics' James Pearce. Whoever, I'm sure every Liverpool fan knows who James Pearce is. Lovely man, gentleman. Just a bit of talk, obviously, about Thiago coming in and Jota coming in, a bit of transfer talk about Liverpool and what he thinks about Liverpool going forward. And it's worth to watch just for the fact that it's James Pearce, to be honest with you. But that was brilliant. And then yesterday, I did a video with Thomas Gronemark, who's Liverpool's throwing coach. He's also Ajax's throwing coach as well, and Ghent, the Belgian team Ghent as well, and a few other teams. So he's a multitasker, he is. But some great stuff, insights to throw-ins, and how he made Robertson's game so much better with the throw-in. So check that out on Dave's LFC Chats, and a lot more to come, baby.
Yeah, Dave, that's absolutely spot on. Everyone, make sure you do head over, subscribe there as well. Subscribe there if you've just stumbled across the video anyway. Everyone, welcome. Hope you're having a lovely rest of your Friday night anyway, and enjoy the weekend if you possibly can. Stay safe and well, every single one of you around the world. But with me and David, we'll be talking in tonight's episode. We'll be talking about Liverpool Arsenal anyway, the home fixture against the Gunners. I cannot wait for this, and wanted to get Dave's insight really and his thoughts on the game. I wanted to gauge all your thoughts and opinions at home, everyone, on team selection really, and just general Liverpool chit chat really. I think we'll go into the Arsenal Liverpool game in a little second, everyone. But I just wanted everyone's thoughts. We're going to be talking about Neco. We're not going to delve too much into it, but I think it was very, very important to address, especially obviously we're on a social media platform as in YouTube and Twitter. Like, some of the stuff we've seen it with Karius after the Champions League, and there's always going to be these group of people that will be on social media. I just wish there was a way of IDing people, not that you can actually find out the real names, because obviously the internet, you can hide behind keyboards, and I think this is what Dave they're doing towards Neco last night. If you're not aware, if you're not on social media platforms anyway, Neco Williams, yeah, I felt he had a fantastic game last night. Yeah, he made one mistake, but everyone got on the back. Not everyone, the select people. I'm not even classing them as fans anyway, but got on the back, and he had to deactivate his account. Well, he was close to deactivating it, but he's done a black screen and everything on all of his account. Dave, what are your thoughts on these individuals that are directing abuse to not just our players, but players, general footballers in general?
They're everywhere, Jack. They're even coming into these air channels. I'm sure that you've had a few yourself. I've had a few. The bigger channels have had a lot. The likes of Mark Goldbridge and all gets loads of them in. But trolls belong under bridges. That's as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I try you. School. The best thing is not to interact with them, ignore them. That's the worst part that they don't like, because you're only feeding them by either reacting or responding. And if you ignore them, because they'll never go away, to be honest, unfortunately, it's part of society. They're keyboard warriors. You don't know if it's a 10 or 12-year-old young lad, laughing with his friends, doing something. I might say this, or it could be a middle-aged fella, just a lunatic in a little sitting upstairs, nothing else to do. But I mean, they're everywhere, and they'll never go away. As I say, try ignore them. I think that's all you can do.
Yeah, and I just absolutely love it. I wanted to make that point last night. I tell you, if everyone listened to all these people online, Trent wouldn't be the player that he was today, that he is now. Trent made, as I said on my show last night, we all remember that game, one of his first games at Old Trafford, and I think it was Martial or Rashford absolutely destroyed them in that game, and we got beat 2-0. And I tell you, but we're not going to be delving too much into it. Neco, if you are watching, mate, or if anyone passes it on to him anyway, from a Liverpool fans' point of view and the Liverpool fans in general around the world, don't listen to them, lads. Get back on social media, interact with all your fellow fans that love you. Just don't delve too much into it, mate. Keep your head down and continue doing what you're absolutely doing, because I tell you, he's possibly he's absolutely fantastic. Giggs, the Welsh international manager anyway, big future. As I said, Klopp's got a big future as well for this lad. And just keep on doing what you're doing, lad. Don't listen to the stuff that you've been reading and that. But we'll go on to the Arsenal game now, mate. Anyway, everyone at home, let us know your team selection, Dave. It's going to be an exciting game, innit? Arsenal, they have posed Liverpool a couple of difficult questions in the previous fixtures. I've got a couple of facts here, everyone. Number one, Liverpool have won their last 4 home league games against Arsenal. They have not won more consecutively against the Gunners at Anfield since a run of 7 between 1981 to 1988. And the second one, Arsenal, 2-1 victory over Liverpool back in July, was their first over the Reds in 10 Premier League games. Drawn 4, lost 5. The Gunners are looking to win back-to-back games against them for the first time since September. Do you know, Dave? September what?
Say that again. Since what?
The Gunners are looking to do back-to-back league games against them for the first time since 2000 and...
It's a long time ago. Well,
You have to have a little guess.
I don't know. I don't want to take a guess. 2001.
Yeah, everyone at home, let us know if you cheated and you fast forward. Anyway, 2012. It's still a long way. 8 years. 8 years. It's absolutely staggering.
That's what I'm saying. We've had such a great record against them that every time you play Arsenal, and we have them in the cup game as well, straight after the league game on Monday. And the thing about it is, I think Arsenal had a bit of we had a hoodoo over Arsenal. But to be honest, that league game we played them at the back end of last season, the league was won. I mean, Arsenal, new manager in, new ideas, they were refreshed. We weren't at our best, were we, in some of them games? So I wouldn't read a huge amount into that game. And the Charity Shield game, we actually didn't play well. We got a 1-1. We're beaten on penalties. It's a toss of a coin, really, isn't it? It could go either way. But I think we'll beat them Monday. I'm going to go 2-0 straight away. I've been saying it all week. I think we'll get back to winning ways on Monday. There's no doubt about it. I know we'll go through the team, but Liverpool's, the whole thing around Liverpool since last Thursday when Thiago and Jota and all came in, it's just lifted. You know what I mean? There was a bit of doubt. So we didn't play well against Leeds. We won, but we didn't. We played well against Chelsea for most of the game. I know it was 10 men, but we even played well first half when it was 11 against 11, you know. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this game, but I think we'll do them.
Yeah, absolutely spot on, line. I think we'll talk about team selection a little second, mate. I'm just trying to get up was it last win, third round, that was, the 2-1 win against Arsenal at home. I think they were drawing that game anyway, and obviously Nketiah with a fantastic strike anyway. Just in terms of their team selection, I think when I've interacted with a couple of Arsenal fans on social media, Gabriel has been a very impressive signing for them. He's not played a lot of football, but I've been... what do you reckon of David? Have you seen him on Match of the Day? I've been quite impressed with him. Everyone at home, let us know your thoughts. I know he's not had lots of game time, but I think he's a solid defender.
Listen, Arsenal have improved. I mean, it's across the board, really. I mean, the manager, you can see Arteta's style and skill coming in. Klopp gave him great, I think today gave him great, saying, he's doing a great job. I know they always say that, but he really did say they've changed, the style's slightly different. They're a better team defensively, which is huge for Arsenal. They were always good going forward, and their midfield was always a bit flaky. And they've a bit more bite in midfield, and the defence is a bit better. And I mean, that bodes well. And of course, you have Aubameyang in front, who, to be honest, is probably one of the best strikers on his day in the world, no doubt about it. So they'll be dangerous on Monday night. Don't get me wrong. it won't be a walkover for Liverpool. But we're going to go through the Liverpool team, and I can tell you why we'll beat them when we do. But I'd be confident Monday.
Yeah, spot on. Like everyone, I don't let us know your thoughts. We'll just run through our predicted XI anyway. I think if me and Dave can agree on a lineup anyway, we'll think it'll be quite similar. But everyone, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below your team selection. The midfield, we'll start with the defence. The midfield will be very different anyway. I think as we go throughout the season, Reds, I think we can all agree for different scenarios in different games, we will require a different set of three. I think we can all agree that, or we could go to a two holding players and then obviously one a lot more attacking players anyway. But it's the beauty of our squad. Dave, we'll start with the back line anyway. Is it the same as always? Back five? Would you?
No. I know Gomez is back in training, but I don't think he'll make Monday night. I don't think he'll be risked, Jack. I think Fabinho will get back in there. I think you'll have obviously Alisson, you'll have Robbo, Trent, Van Dijk, and I think you'll have Fabinho, to be honest with you. Because as well as that, you can play it out from the back, and Arsenal are a footballing team, so there won't be any hoofing or anything involved in the game. It'll be a good game. So I think you'll go Fabinho, Van Dijk, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely forgot. It's not been a long time since we played, but yeah, I mean, that's what I meant anyway. But yeah, definitely, it'd be. Yeah. But yeah, I can agree with that, mate. It's spot on there with the style in which Liverpool, especially against a team like Arsenal, as you said, mate, the possession is going to be very key. I think Arsenal love to dominate games of footy anyway, but it will be interesting to see how Liverpool do come out from the back anyway. If we do try and hit the ball over the top, or if we do try and start our play from the back anyway, and try and get Arsenal to really press us and just activate that trigger and press and really just do call the passes anyway. Dave, midfield, it's going to be very interesting. I'm just looking at Arsenal's midfield against West Ham. They played a 3-4-3 against the Arsenal. They played Hector Bellerin right midfield. And then Caballos, anyway, the Spanish lad, Xhaka, and he played Saka on the left-hand side in a 3-4-3. So I think Liverpool, and I think Klopp and all the technical staff anyway, will be looking at this, analysing the play. And I think that could be very key. This could be where Liverpool do win the game, do you reckon?
Well, I think Thiago's a definite starter, to be honest with you. But you can check it out. I was talking to James Pearce Monday, but he was saying, as we all know, Thiago can play in any of the three positions. He could even play behind the front three. That's how good he is. So I think Thiago is a defo. He has to start. He'll definitely start. I think he'll go Gini, Keita, Thiago. He always wants at least one holding player. Now, Henderson's out, so Fabinho probably plays centre half. So there's those two gone if the team is being picked. Keita, he seems to be in the good books at the moment with Klopp, and he's been playing well, to be fair. Gini's still here. Looks like he's going to stay. So to Klopp to make him feel happy and give him a bit of confidence and say you're welcome to stay, he'll play him. And Thiago is the first name on the bloody team sheet now. So that'd be my three, I think, if Fabinho plays centre half.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well, mate. I think, well, just off topic, really, everyone at home, let us know. I've always wanted to feel how everyone feels their what is Liverpool's favourite midfield three for everyone at home that you would like Liverpool to select anyway. For me, it'd be not just for this Arsenal game, but for Naby on top of form, Thiago on top of the form, and obviously Fabinho in behind when the lads at the back. I love Henderson, but I think for me personally, I'm not a football manager. There is people with a context as well, but yeah, can say assistant anyway. But now, I think you can bring in Henderson, and I think say if you were playing the likes of Burnley, that you need the physical presence. I absolutely love Henderson, but I think from a technical point of view, like a game like Arsenal, you will be getting a lot less time on the ball in terms of the press. So, yeah, that would be mine. But for the game, spot on. I'd go with the midfield you gone with.
On from the midfield, I did a podcast midweek with the Copites podcast. A very good. Check them out, by the way. And I gave an analogy for the midfield, and I was telling them that Liverpool's midfield, when you play the likes of like Gini, Keita, Fabinho, or even Milner, it's very one-dimensional, to be honest with you, a lot of the time. It reminds me of a six-pack of Red Bull, cans of Red Bull, right? But the good news for Liverpool is they have a glass of champagne, baby, and his name is Thiago. And he is beautiful. And that's the difference. You've got that bit of class. You've got that bit now that, to look to, pass the ball, see his control. His control is joystick level, baby. And it's that good. So this is what I'm saying. The ball sticks to him. He's Velcro man. You know what I mean? He's that good. Thiago Velcro man. So he's given us a new dimension now. And if he stays fit, Jack, you know what I mean? He had a few injuries, problems. Not as bad last year, though, but he had a few before. Maybe he's over them now. Let's hope he is. This guy could transform the whole midfield for us going forward. He gives us so many options. So for me, Thiago's the first name on the sheet. He's a part of the famous spine now. And he's the glass of champagne. And cheers. Cheers, Thiago.
Cheers. Yeah, spot on there, mate. It'd be interesting. Obviously, it's only been a couple of weeks since Thiago's coming anyway, but I think Klopp, it'd be interesting to see how he does adapt the midfield to certain games and certain scenarios. Because I think Henderson probably, he would get into Klopp's first midfield 11 and probably a lot of use at home as well. But there's no doubt in the lad's quality. When we missed Henderson last season, back end, when he doesn't play, you notice instantly why Liverpool, obviously, the midfield is being something lacking. And you probably would say you'd have to play Henderson in midfield and then obviously complement him with Thiago. And then obviously you could throw anyone in there, really. So I absolutely love the lad. I absolutely love Henderson.
He's not club captain for nothing now. Come on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, I mean, if Henderson's fit, I think Klopp, club captain, lifted the European Cup, lifted the Club World Cup, lifted the Super Cup, lifted the Premier League after 30 years. I think he plays, Jack, and we've so many games coming up. It's a congested season. The midfield is the area where all the Red Bull running around boys, especially on the front three as well. We're going to talk about that as well. But they will be moved around, as you said. You rarely get the same guy, but Henderson went fit, and Thiago went fit. We've options now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. Like a kid in a sweet shop when you got all the...
Really Wonka, baby.
Klopp's going in, week out. It's like, oh, I can play him. We're picking. But in terms of... And just Henderson as well, last week against Chelsea. If you haven't seen it inside match day or whatever, he classed them as the videos anyway, documentaries on the game on Liverpool's channel anyway. You could see Henderson speaking to Mane just before he got the red card for Chelsea. Henderson screaming at Mane just to say, come inside. And then a couple of minutes later, Henderson gets the ball in the middle of the park at Stamford Bridge, absolutely pings it on a plate for Mane, and he gets his red card. So I absolutely love it. That just highlights that's something that stats don't pick up anyway. But the forward three lads, it's going to be a very big game for me, I feel, for Bobby Firmino. I think it'd be very interesting to see how he just keeps holding the ball and really, because I remember going to a game, I think it was last season, or it might have been the season before, where he absolutely destroyed Arsenal. I think he come on the second half. Yeah. Can you remember that?
The 5-1 or the 5-1, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5-1 or 5-2.
Yeah. He's a good record against Arsenal, but he seems to always play well against them. That's why I think they're going to go with the three amigos, Salah, Mane and Firmino. But I'll tell you what, Minamino last night I thought was lovely. Imagine him in behind. And of course, we haven't mentioned Diogo Jota. I mean, we've options all over the place. That's what it's all about, Jack. Having options. It's a manager's nightmare, but it's a manager's dream at the same time.
Yeah, that's what we've been screaming out as fans for years, haven't we? When we were putting, obviously, when we had the likes of Gerrard, Alonso, Torres back then, we had probably an okay starting 11, but when you look at the squad depth behind closed doors, when a couple of players got injured, we didn't have the squad depth. Man City's squad depth is an absolute, it's mad. It's not normal. That's just what happens when you spend a couple of billion on a football club anyway. But Liverpool, yeah, as you mentioned there, everyone, and Dave's hit the nail on the head. Jota, Minamino. I absolutely love this, lads. I absolutely love him. And I think...
Tacky lad!
Yeah. He's a magic lad anyway, with his feet anyway. I think he's going to have a huge 12 months, I reckon. I think next season will be his breakthrough season. I'd love it to be this year, but I think this season he'll be very good still. I think he'll be very instrumental, as you mentioned, in the cup competitions, and bring them off the bench when teams are getting knackered. You've got Jota and Minamino coming on, and a young scout maestro in the middle of the park, Curtis Jones, to come on.
That's what I was just about to say. Curtis Jones, calling Curtis Jones. But Curtis Jones, a good game. So last night's game, we'll talk about it in a minute, the Lincoln game, but Minamino and Curtis Jones stood out for me. I don't know about you, but those two must be in with some sort of show for Monday night when you think about it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I did put them in my title. I think last night on my coach match.
What's your front three? Did you say your front three?
Yeah, I'd go with Bobby, obviously Salah and Mane. You can't drop any of them really, but I think the lads that are not getting in the starting 11, I think this is what Jurgen wants. He's exactly wanting them to be knocking on the door really, and it's a manager's dream really to have a bunch of settled lads that, don't get me wrong, you won't be happy to not be getting in the starting 11, but they're not going to be kicking up a fuss, speaking to the media and the press and everything, going, oh, he's not playing me. But yeah, I definitely, Curtis Jones, Minamino, definitely got to be on the bench, and I think it'll be interesting to see if the game is not going the way as planned anyway on Monday. Those three definitely will be coming on to the pitch.
Jota's on the bench too. I mean, it's that's what I'm saying about options. I mean, the options, just bringing in two players has done to the club and the team. Just bringing in two. Well, you could say two of them are potential first teamers, though. That's the difference. They're not just coming in to fill gaps. They're potentially, well, Thiago definitely, you'd have to say, really, he's been bought as a first teamer. But Diogo Jota's been brought in to put pressure on those front three and say, listen, you boys don't get your act. I mean, I could see eventually. Bobby, I'd like him to play better than he has, and I know he's integral to all the fluidity in the front three from the middle, and he does a lot of work. But Diogo Jota in the middle with Salah and Mane either side of him, Thiago in behind pulling the strings, baby. Then you could have Fabinho and Keita, and then you could have Gomez and VVD, Trent, Robbo, Alisson in Wonderland, baby.
I think you could have me in goal anyway with that with that
fantasy football.
Yeah. I'll be the team man anyway. But yeah, no, everyone let us know your team selection and where you think the danger areas will be on Monday night, the key area, actions of the area of the pitch. I think midfield, as it always is against Arsenal, will be the action area, like it is similar to obviously the top teams when we play City and like the Chelsea anyway. The game is always won in the middle of the park. But what I want from Liverpool, everyone at home, and I'll ask Dave in a second, I want us to start taking our chances, especially against Arsenal. When we play our best football, we take every single little chance. And I think the last couple of occasions when we have played Arsenal, I know I'm not counting the Mickey Mouse beginning of the season cup anyway, Community Shield. I mean, in the Premier League fixtures, I think if we take our chances on Monday night, I think it could be a cricket score anyway. But Dave, what you reckon? I think. What you reckon? Do you think is that what been one thing that's really frustrated you in the last couple of fixtures?
Yeah, actually, if you remember the Arsenal game at the back end of last season, I know we've won the league and all that, and Arsenal were at home, but we had a few chances in that game, and we actually went 1-0 up, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
What happened? Mistakes, actually, wasn't it? mistakes.
Yeah.
Allison made a complete, and I think VVD made a mistake. So, I mean, is that going to happen again? It did happen again, I think, once more. But listen, I think we'd be okay, Jack. There seems to be a different air around Liverpool, as I just said to you, since last week, only last Thursday. There's a different sort of air on Twitter, has stopped exploding. Everything's eased down. Everyone's looking forward to the season. Thiago effect is in full flow. Jota boy is in. Even the likes of Minamino, as you just said, are starting to fit in and give options. Curtis Jones is stepping up. Naby lad, it looks like what we expect from Naby lad. The only issue I would say going forward is centre half. The big question for me, I'm surprised out of what we signed. Now, it's still time. I think there's 10 days left or something. I would have thought that you need 4 centre halves. I know Fabinho can play centre half, but he's not a centre half. Now, he played well in any game he's ever played centre half, to be fair. And I suppose you could turn around and say, well, to get a decent centre half, you're paying 20 plus 30 million. Do we really need to spend 20, 30 million? Gomez is injury prone. Matip is even more injury prone. Luckily, Van Dijk isn't injury prone. And that's touch wood. But I mean, you know what I mean? God forbid that never happened to him. But we've been lucky in that respect with him, like it last season, haven't we? We've been really lucky with him that he hasn't had any long-term, like he could be out for a game or 2 or 3. But being out for 10 or 12 games, I think you'd see a huge bloody difference. So I was a little surprised. Billy lad, Kimetio, the young lad, he wouldn't be ready yet. But I think Klopp's going to go with what he has now. I don't think you could see any more incomings now. I think it's done. And I think possibly 1 or 2 outgoings. The likes of Brewster looks like he's on the way. Possibly Origi and young Wilson. But I can't see any more incomings, Jack. I think that's it.
The level of finishing last night, something I haven't seen in a very long time, especially in the Capital One Cup game anyway, or even FA Cup games.
It actually reminds me when I was younger.
Were you in the back garden getting the top pins?
Against the wall.
Yeah, no. Immediately, when we're all dreaming anyway, we can finish like Shaqiri. The closest I can do that is on FIFA.
Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, no, it was a fantastic game, everyone. Let us know your thoughts on the Lincoln game anyway. And just a quick one as well, just in terms of, it was a general overall thought. I wanted to pose it to you, everyone, really. In terms of, obviously, the climate in which we currently find ourselves in football and team, it is very sad to see some clubs, just especially if the UK does go into a second official government lockdown. I know a couple of places around the UK are in local lockdown anyway, but the support in which the football clubs as well. Dave, what are your thoughts in terms of, do you think the Premier League higher up teams or 20 should be at least trying to support the teams in the bottom lower divisions?
But did Klopp say something about that today?
I think he might have glanced at it anyway, but I've seen it, everyone.
He mentioned about, I mean, obviously the 20 Premier League clubs, the elite clubs, especially top 6, top 8, whatever you want to call them. Like, I know it's pandemic times, they're losing a lot of money. I think United over 100 million, 120 million or something projected to lose. Arsenal similar, Liverpool similar. All the corporate business, you know, all the fellas coming in, they're whining, the prawn sandwich boys, all these fellas coming in. I mean, it's huge money being lost. And the problem is for them is they don't know when this is going to end. There's no guarantee it's even going to be finished next season, like for the season after next. And when fans can come in at any decent size where you can make money, because even if you let fans in, you can't fill the ground. You know what I mean? And then you have to, but I'll tell you one thing which has been good for Liverpool. Apparently, their jerseys have been record selling for the 3 jerseys. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
The 3 jerseys have broke records for Nike. And I actually heard last week, before Thiago signed, by the way, and maybe that had something to do with it, that the Liverpool home jersey was actually first for sales in the UK. Now, I'm not on about outside in the worldwide for Nike, but UK Nike sales. The Liverpool jersey was number 1 up until about 2 weeks ago. Then Arsenal and Chelsea took it over.
Yeah.
And Arsenal became number 1. Jersey, Chelsea were second. Liverpool were third. And since Thiago and Jota signed, Liverpool are back into first place and record breaking all over the shop. So it's been good for Nike. But as you said, yeah, we still have money. I mean, all the top clubs still have money. Even some of the championship clubs would have money. And you're talking about going further back to like League 1, League 2 conference teams, all those type of teams, which are in big trouble. I mean, was the Macclesfield went
down. I think like 500 grand. I know it seems a lot of money to us as fans anyway, but it's sad the likes of obviously Berry. I know us fans, football fans live in a bubble, a personal bubble of their club anyway, rightly so, obviously rivalry and that, but I think football sometimes goes above and beyond that anyway. Sometimes these are like clubs, cities really, that depends on the community aspect of some of these clubs. And for me, obviously, I think Klopp, when he was talking about today, the infrastructure and the structure of obviously owning, I think the Bundesliga is owned by obviously the Bundesliga 1 and then obviously the Bundesliga 2.
Yeah.
That is a joint entity, and really obviously, so it's like so the Championship, you could make that the Premier League 2 and then just join that, but obviously because it's a different, obviously the Football League and then you go into the other sections. But I think after this pandemic, there's got to be a lot more. And grassroots, I could make a whole week documentary on grassroots just in and around Liverpool. There's obviously
you should. That's what you should do.
There's not enough.
If I was over Liverpool, I'd do it.
Yeah, and that's another show anyway. Grassroots. So for me, everyone, I want to ask you this. It's a bit off topic, but I want to gauge your thoughts. Do you think there should be a lot more security for teams lower down? I know we can just think about Liverpool, like tunnel vision and that, but I think I don't like seeing football clubs get put into bankruptcy anyway. Some of them are very poorly managed by owners that shouldn't really be owners of football clubs, and that's another episode.
That's another day's bloody work, isn't it?
But but it's how long have we been going for? 38 minutes. I tell you, if you're still listening, you're absolute legend. But Dave, it's been a lovely Friday night chat anyway. Just coming up to 9:30. Hopefully try and make this a regular thing. If you enjoy it anyway, let us know in the comment section below. But Dave,
you like me new top, Jack? Got this today on Liverpool retail. It's a nice. It has actually an orangey stripe down the side. It's really, and has LFC on the back.
Should have Dave LFC chaps on the back.
See it? Dave, I could have, yeah. That's Nike making one for me. But and then underneath, there you go, baby.
You won't miss you in the garden, lads.
I wear that out in the road so you don't knock me down.
You've like a little wakey on the side.
Exactly. But, it's been great, Jack. Fair play.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh yeah, what's your prediction for Monday now? I'm gonna go 2-0 Mane Salah. What are you saying?
I said cricket score before.
Cricket.
I'm gonna go 4-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
I think it'd be a big win. Don't discredit to Arsenal. Fantastic team.
You just did.
But I just hope Liverpool and the lads just go out there and absolutely smash them. Because I think the last couple of occasions, we haven't been taking our chances, and I think the lads will be kicking themselves. And I think we made a marker last season winning the league, and I think the lads will want to go again. But yeah, I'm going to go 4-1. Everyone, let us know your score predictions anyway. But Dave, thank you as always, mate. If you haven't checked out Dave's channel, make sure you do head over there, subscribe. I will leave the links and everything in the description down below, so make sure you do head over there. You've just passed over 1,000 subscribers. You're absolutely smashing it. But if you're new around to Dave's channel, make sure you do head over there. Subscribe over there if you're new and you're still going. Yeah, it's coming to the 40-minute mark. Been an absolutely lovely show, mate. Thank you for coming on, La.
No problem, bro. As I said, we'll do it again, and I'm confident we'll beat Arsenal on Monday night. Won't be easy. I'm going to go 2-0.
Yeah, Reds, everyone around the world, hope you're all keeping safe and well. Look after one another. Got to wash your hands and all that. But everyone, and a shout out to all the key workers and the NHS staff and everyone around the UK and Wales really. continuing to fight day to day anyway. But thank you on behalf of the football fans around the world and all the Liverpool fans anyway. But Reds, have a lovely rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend if you can, if you didn't work or not. The Reds are back in action on Monday. Reds, 40 minutes in. Thank you for listening up till now. You've got absolute legends. This means more, as Dave says. Yeah, Dave plays out, lads.